Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! So I've been getting a lot of questions about the future of zombies and Descendants. I know you guys have had a lot of unanswered questions for far long enough now, and I try to do my best to come through with the best videos and breakdowns and reviews that you guys have ever seen, because I seem to know everything there is about Disney. I've become a Disney nostalgist, and many people have referred to me as a Descendants analyst because I seem to know everything there is to know, but I don't know anything that you guys already don't know, because you guys are some of the smartest fans ever. One of the questions I've been receiving is, when are the iHeartRadio Music Awards going to happen? I've been getting this from a lot of fans as recency, and I can tell you the iHeartRadio Music Awards will happen on Friday night, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's going to be huge for every fan of zombies, because that will be the night that zombies will be honored for favorite movie soundtrack of all time. And I'm really excited to see if these guys will take it home, because there were so many songs on Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampire soundtrack that you couldn't help but fall in love with. The song Dream Come True, or Place to Be, that was everybody's favorite song. And the reason why it was everybody's favorite song was because it was so catchy. The vibe that you got from that song was like you were a part of something special, like you were included in the music video and it was happening before your very eyes. I remember that summer sitting here in this chair and reviewing that music video, and I wanted to give people hope for that foreseeable future, because there were a lot of people who were taking to their YouTube channels at the time and they were showing criticism directed towards the Place to Be music video. But it was so fun to watch, because this was really Freya Sky's debut in a movie and as an artist, and we really got to know more about her. And I've dedicated the entire month of February 2026 to Freya Sky's new tour. It's called the Stars Align Tour, and she's touring all throughout the month of February. So I decided to come up with something fun for every fan of Descendants and Zombies while honoring Freya Sky throughout the entire month of February. And to be honest with each and every one of you guys, I've had the time of my life, because if there ever was a person that I ever believed in with all of my heart, it was Freya Sky. I loved recording videos about Freya. I loved sharing with you my thoughts on Kylie Cantrell and their beautiful friendship, because I could never seem to get enough of it. These guys were incredibly supportive of each other on the tour bus, off the tour bus, in front of the camera, behind the camera. Somewhere I always wanted to be was in front of the camera, or be the director and the producer of Descendants and Zombies, and I'll tell you why. You guys have deserved a really cool chapter of Descendants and Zombies for a very long time, produced by somebody who believes in it just as much as each and every one of you have, and I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. I just wanted to be behind writing a story that I could bring to life, because years ago I remembered how Tim Burton and Kenny Ortega would take these stories like Nightmare Before Christmas and High School Musical, and they would bring these stories to life, of course captained by music. And it was so unbelievable to me how they could take characters like Jack Skellington and Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez and tell these stories in ways that you would be left captivated, nothing short of it. I think that Descendants and Zombies truly has gone on to be considered mind-blowing to fans of Descendants and Zombies, and you guys have deserved and been honored to be a part of something so special for a very long time. You guys don't deserve to watch videos that are criticizing your favorite stars or produced by people that don't know the first thing about what it takes to be a Freya Sky fan. All it's ever taken, the secret is heart. And if you have heart and you believe in Freya Sky with all of your heart, and you watch hundreds of Freya Sky videos every day like many people do, you're never alone, because I watch many of Freya Sky's videos all the time. Her music videos is something I'm very fond of because of how beautiful they are. And the thing that I've appreciated about Freya Sky is how she's so young, but yet she's writing such beautiful music. And I've taken something special away from every single Freya Sky music video, even though there were only 5. There are some lyric videos because of her EP that was just recently dropped back on the 4th of February, which people can't stop downloading and listening to off Apple Music and YouTube Music. It's really cool how you guys have responded so well to Freya Sky's music, and so significantly, because all she's ever wanted to do is relate to each and every one of you. You know, I've seen the best of them come and go in this industry. I remember back on September 19th, 1996, when the Spice Girls first premiered with their first ever single called Wannabe, and then in 1997 they had a song called Stop, which was pretty much the sequel, either that one or Spice World. And I remember when the Spice Girls went as far as to have their own PlayStation video game. It wasn't very detailed, but you could perform the Spice Girls songs on the PlayStation. It was released on the very first PlayStation, a PlayStation that you would just actually put compact discs into. And I remember being a fan of that because I had never seen a girl band go as far as what they did. And the Backstreet Boys would follow suit, releasing album after album after album. They're actually going back on tour this year. And the last time we saw the Spice Girls perform would have been all the way back in 2024, and I believe they performed at the 2012 Olympics, which was a really special moment for every Spice Girls fan out there. The thing is, you're never too old or too young to learn something new and to have time to appreciate moments that Descendants of Zombies have given us, especially from the original trilogy, because we had so many wonderful music videos dropped from the original trilogy. Rotten to the Core, Chillin' Like a Villain, If Only, which was a beautiful ballad between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, which really put their friendship on display, which is a friendship that I can never seem to give enough credit to. I have loved having these conversations with so many people who Sophia Carson and Dove Cameron and Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, who's my all-time favorite character. For those of you wondering, for those of you who are newly subscribed here, I am a huge fan of Ruby Rose Turner because of just how genuinely sweet the girl was. I could never seem to get enough of Ruby Rose Turner or have enough time in my day, in my daily routine, to appreciate Ruby Rose Turner for just how genuinely sweet the girl was. She was so kind, and she inspired me and many others to be better people in life. And I think that we all became better people because of what Ruby taught us, just how much further kindness can take a person in this lifetime. And I never saw a girl as appreciative of her role as Evie, the daughter of the evil queen, who had no backstory whatsoever, quite like Sophia Carson. Sophia Carson was somebody who was never given enough credit, who was never shown enough praise, who really touched my heart. She put so much work into her choreographing, the hours of boot camp, the training that went behind bringing the character to life. I've not only had a tremendous amount of respect for Sophia Carson's character, Evie, in the boot camps, I've had a tremendous amount of respect for this new cast and what people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker have meant to the franchise. I've always had a greater appreciation for the Cinderella story, the Alice in Wonderland story, and if there were 4 books in the Alice in Wonderland book series, yours truly read them. I remember when I was a teenager and I read The Notebook for the first time ever, the story of Noah and Allie, of course Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling, and I remember being so captivated by that. And then I went from that to reading the entire Twilight book series, and I remember the Breaking Dawn book was over 1,000 pages, but I never cared how long it was. I just read it because I wanted to understand you guys for being the fans of Twilight you were from back in that generation, and the fans of The Notebook that you were, because people were emailing me all the time telling me they were a fan of this or that, they were a fan of Boy Meets World. And I remember on Friday nights being a huge fan of Boy Meets World. There wasn't a single episode of Boy Meets World that I didn't see. I never missed a single episode. And I remembered so many iconic moments that happened in Boy Meets World, when Sean's father passed away, or when Corey and Topanga got separated because her family moved to Pittsburgh. And I never ever forgot that scene where Topanga looked in Corey's eyes and said, "Do we really have to spend this much time apart?" And he looked at her and said, "We'll figure it out." And it took them probably 3 months to write a story that actually made sense, but by the time you saw it, and they eventually ended up back together and got married, that's what was so special about Boy Meets World, were how special and how significant those moments were. And then they had this beautiful spin-off series many years later by 2014, Girl Meets World, where Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard actually developed their own hashtag called Robrina, because you could just never seem to get enough of them. And now the Descendants stars are captivating a whole new generation through these powerful stories, which many of you have never wanted to see its conclusion. And if you are somebody who has never wanted to see its conclusion, then I support you. And I will forever and always love you for being the fans of Descendants of Zombies that you've become, because your love and support for Descendants of Zombies has really turned this into a global phenomenon, a sensation that deserves way more awards than it's ever been given. I would love to be the guy that presents the Descendants cast with that award of being the greatest cast of all time, being the greatest teen sensation that was ever created, because I think we can never see enough opportunities where these sensations are created and given a chance. I mean, the Stars Align tour for Freya Sky is really just one way of looking at it, because all she's ever wanted is the opportunity to be a part of something special, and to be a part of that with each and every one of you, because if you take the fans out of the equation, what are you really left with? Without any of you guys, I'd be just a guy on YouTube uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies with no response that would be anything but well received. But these videos are very well received by the people who subscribe here all the time and who believe in this YouTube channel with all of their heart. And I would just like to say thank you so much, because you guys allowed me to be a part of your fan club, to be a part of your niche, I've never ever left, and I've never had any regrets. And I've loved sharing my stories with you about how I was a fan of Beauty and the Beast, and I saw the value in that story. How Aurora was my favorite Disney princess of all time because of how beautiful her name was. I didn't need any other reason. It was just her name was just so beautiful. And even though she was a princess that slept for most of the movie, when she was eventually woken by True Love's kiss, that's what gave it so much meaning. And I loved it. From the very first moment I saw it, I knew it was going to be something special, and I've supported it for over 67 years. I haven't even been alive for 67 years, but it truly feels like I've supported it for over 67 years. You know, it's really hard to believe that some of these classics, like Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, have seen over 35 years of success and how they've never ever been forgotten. And I truly believe that what we're setting ourselves up here for is a franchise such as Descendants and Zombies that will never be forgotten and truly last in the annals of time. Because you all have favorite characters, you all have favorite songs. One of my favorite songs from any Descendants score would have had to have been Life is Sweeter When You Are. There was something, it was just the appreciation of the characters and how the people were so appreciative of that music video and being involved in it. And Ruby did such a fabulous job. Her voice not being on the Descendants soundtrack moving forward is something I've never gotten over. And when I heard about how Ruby was not going to be a part of the Worlds Collide tour, oh, my heart was broken. I was so sad because I thought that in her short time being involved with the Descendants franchise, Ruby offered so much and she inspired so many people, and ultimately because of her bubblegum type personality and how bubblegum the song was, Ruby became everybody's favorite character. And I understood you guys for having Ruby be your favorite character. And many of you have favorite characters from the original trilogy. Many of you are fans of Cameron Boyce. You've never let go of Cameron Boyce. But I think we've taken away a greater appreciation for people like Cameron and Dove and Sophia because we know that time doesn't last for forever. And we wish that we had more time to experience moments that Cameron Boyce was a part of. And we got to be a part of because of what he offered to Jesse and Bunk. Because I was a huge fan of Jesse too. Jesse was a wonderful show, and it was so full of life. The characters from Peyton List to Cameron Boyce to Debbie Ryan to the butler on that show had such wonderful personalities, and that's why it became everybody's favorite Disney Channel TV series, and it's still being celebrated nearly 11 years after it premiered. So because you guys have seen something special in everything Disney has created, I think more YouTube creators should honor that for you and celebrate moments like the iHeartRadio Music Awards and Descendants and Zombies taking home all these awards and recognitions. Because you guys want to see that happen. And if I was a member of the committee, I would sit down with hundreds of people in a board meeting every day and say, we got to make this happen. Why do we got to make this happen? Because we got 10 million people out there who believe in Descendants and Zombies so much. And I really wish that I could push Descendants and Zombies further to happen for you guys, because many of you had unanswered questions about Zombies 5. When is it happening? Jonathan, when is this going to happen for the characters? When is this going to happen in the story? I think what they're building up here for is a moment of significance that we're all going to take something special away from, and when it finally happens, it's going to mean more to our hearts than we ever imagined. Like the moment that Freya Sky and Malachi Burton will share a kiss. They've shared lots of kisses off of camera. You just have to look really hard to find it and Google images and stuff, and I've often appreciated that. But when it finally happens in front of the camera, that's going to be so special for everybody because of how much you believe in them. You believe in Freya Sky's music. You believe in purchasing our hoodies, many of whom have never taken off that hoodie. And to be honest with you guys, I've loved you for it because it shows how much love and support that you've had for that and how much love and support you've had for this YouTube channel. Because you didn't have to come here to this YouTube channel. You never had to subscribe here. But it's been such a huge honor for me to share with you my stories about how I became a fan of Descendants of Zombies for the first time ever back in 2015. And what was I doing in 2015? I didn't know if I was coming or going. I didn't know what my life had in store, but that's what's so exciting about life, is that you never know what's going to happen. Did I think that I would go on to become one of the most revered and most successful YouTube creators of all time? No, I didn't. But if you notice anything about these videos that are posted about people who talk about Descendants and Zombies, the thing is, nobody really has a greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies who reviews it. The greater appreciation comes from the fans. And nobody talks about Descendants and Zombies quite like I do. So I don't think you guys should look any further than this YouTube channel for great analogies, because every time that I ever upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, I'm thinking about giving you the best. and the best reviews that I could possibly ever review when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, trying to answer your questions, which sometimes is very difficult to do because I get hundreds of comments, I get hundreds of likes all the time, and it's really cool. So I do the best that I can to answer everybody's question. A lot of people ask me, if Descendants of Zombies is going to be available on Verizon or whatever service provider you have. It will be available on every service provider, and you'll always have a way to watch it because everybody deserves to be a part of something special. And as long as you believe in being a part of something special, that's all that's ever mattered. If Descendants of Zombies has held a special place in your heart, then I think you should continue to follow your passion, because that's what makes you the special person you are. And as I've said many times, everybody is different. Do you think that everybody finds it easy getting up every day and going to school and getting bullied and feeling down about themselves because somebody feels differently about how they love Descendants of Zombies and they don't like it? The thing is, they're never alone, because there are thousands of people, if not millions, if never millions of people who love it just as much as what they do. They just have to find that special friend that they can share stories in about how much they love Descendants of Zombies and how they have a favorite character. And the thing is that's so amazing about it is that everybody connects eventually through their passions about Descendants of Zombies, because you might like Mal, another person might like Kylie Control, and you bond over that because you each have a story that's different from each other's about how you were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I've seen this firsthand. I've seen some of the most beautiful friendships of all time, even friendships between people on this YouTube channel that have began because of Descendants of Zombies and how everybody feels about it. So if you're looking for a reason to believe in Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, then I think you should subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I will do the absolute best I can for many years to come, like I've done for previous years, to relate to thousands of people the best way that I know how. And that's by perceiving every video with an open heart and an open mind. Because I never imagined that this would happen for this YouTube channel. Perhaps it should deservingly happen for other YouTube creators who love Descendants of Zombies just as much as what I do. But the more that I think about it, apart from the fandom, who come by the millions to this YouTube channel, there is no other guy on YouTube who loves Descendants of Zombies with all of his heart and who has fully supported Kylie Contrell and Freya Sky in a time of need. Because the more that we support them, the more incentive that will give them to go on to create something special and to be a part of something special. And I had the chance. I say this because I had the chance to be a part of something special. And I met thousands of people. But given how many thousands of people I've met and sharing my passions for Descendants of Zombies, video games, professional wrestling, and how I thought that was real, you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you thought pro wrestling was real? Yeah, I did. I was a sucker for believing everything that I saw on TV was real. So, for instance, if I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I thought the thing was real. That first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I never got it out of my mind. How that vampire jumped down in that coffin in the first part of the first two-part series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then from out of nowhere it says, tune in next week. You had better believe that I was tuning in next week. I would do the same thing if they had a two-part series of Descendants, man, because either animated or live action, you can never go wrong. And you can never go wrong with these new cast members. I am really excited to see Liamani Segura coming to this franchise, to see what she's going to offer to it, because she's going to give it so much life and so much incentive. And I've never felt more honored to be a part of that and to have the chance to share in that with so many wonderful people who have loved Descendants of Zombies and forever and always taken something special away from it. For whatever your reason for finding my YouTube channel, man, it has been my honor to be in your presence and to join you to have these conversations, and I will continue to join you to have these conversations and hopefully help you make sense of all these questions that you've been left unanswered with. But I think that for every single person who's ever had a dream when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, you've truly had the honor of being a part of something special and experiencing it. Because you guys give this franchise so much life. You do know that, right? You are the reason why I'm here. You are the reason why every other YouTube creator that is apart from my videos that are uploaded in terms of competition are here. And if not for your love and support, nothing like us would ever exist. Thank you so much for believing in Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart. And thank you so much for believing in this guy, because you've given this guy so much incentive to create and keep on creating for thousands of people who have all these questions, for thousands of people who believe in these franchises with all of their heart, which there has never been anything wrong with. And I've had the time of my life creating for so many wonderful people that I had the chance to share in something special because of and with Thank you from my heart to yours for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Years ago, I used to talk about Jesse and Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place, and we'll do that again one of these days. But I think Descendants and Zombies is really special to all of us. So because Descendants and Zombies is really special to all of us, I think we should hold on to that for a little while longer, because nobody's ready to say goodbye. I mean, are you ready to say goodbye? I'm not ready to say goodbye, and I've never wanted to say goodbye. So rather than say something negative, let's say something positive. Let's keep this vibe going for a little while longer, because somewhere out there, there's a 7-year-old girl who just wants to be given a reason to believe in this franchise with all of her heart. So why can't we just believe in her just as much as we believe in ourselves? Let's give her hope for the future, that Zombies 5 is going to come, Descendants 5 is going to come, Jonathan Clarke's going to jump inside of a vortex and probably die because he wants to discover the mystery of it. But other than that, as long as this video puts a smile on each and every one of your faces, that's all that matters, man. Just know this. I love Descendants and Zombies, and I appreciate you guys with all of my heart for being here. I appreciate all your comments, all your questions, every single time you hit the like button. It really means the world to me, and it's such a huge honor for me to create all these wonderful videos for every fan of Descendants and Zombies. It's of extreme rarity that a guy truly pours his heart out about how he feels about Descendants and Zombies. I get that, because no guy likes Descendants and Zombies, but other than that, it's been such a huge honor for me and so much fun. I look forward to meeting all of you in that foreseeable future, because the most exciting thing about this future forthcoming is we don't know what's in store. And I'm just excited to be a part of that, like each and every one of you. Drink a milkshake while the zombies invade us, and we'll be prepared when they come, because there's no better way to prepare yourself for a zombie apocalypse than by watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. We got to get them before they get us. Thank you so much for always and forever holding a very special place in your heart for Descendants and Zombies and believing in it with all of your heart. I, of course, am your host, Jonathan Clarke, and it's been fun forever and always. We will pick up this conversation bright and early tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. where we left it off, because there's so much to get into about Descendants and Zombies, because forever and always, it's held a very special place in your heart and held a very special place likewise in mine. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and thank you so much for having watched this video.